Hello, my name is Lola and I got diagnosed with an obsessive compulsive disorder 3 years ago. In this video, I'll cover ways to understand if you or your loved one is having an OCD attack, also known as OCD flare-up or spike. As usual, please note that I'm not qualified to provide you with any advice and I'm only sharing my own experience on this channel. It's funny, but from my personal experience, you might not even know that you're having an OCD attack, so I wanted to shed some light on how to recognize if you're obsessing. To put together this checklist, I used ideas from the book called Needing to Know for Sure, a CBT-based guide to overcoming compulsive checking and reassurance seeking. I cannot recommend this book highly enough. This is the best book about OCD that I've read so far, and I'll link it in the description. And you know that it's not a paid advertising because I only have 11 subscribers. So here are the questions that can help you evaluate if you're obsessing. Are you hyper-focused on one thing? When you're stuck, a situation, a comment, or a thought will be the only thing you can think about. Not as during your conversations with friends and family. Can you switch topics? Are you talking in circles? Can you stay present when you're talking about something else? Or are your insides paralyzed by anxiety and you just want to keep talking about the same thing that is on your mind? Are you asking what if more than once? Maybe you're worried that you didn't turn on the oven off when you left your apartment. So you ask your friend, do you think I should worry about it? And they tell you, no, I think you probably just forgot that you turned it off. So you feel a short relief, but then the anxiety starts back again. And you ask your friend, well, what if it starts the fire? And they reassure you again, no, that's not something that's going to happen. Again, short relief and even more fear. Now you're asking, what if you come back to a burnt apartment? And your friend again tells you that nothing's going to happen. Short relief and the cycle starts again. You got the gist. Watch yourself. If you keep asking for reassurance, but no reassurance feels good enough or make you feel better, and if you keep asking what if questions, entertaining unusual scenarios in your head, you're probably obsessing. Are you thinking that if you're thinking something, it's 100% going to happen? If you have OCD, you might experience thought-action fusion, which means that you believe that first, if you think about something, it might happen. And second, if you think about doing something, your thought equals to actually doing it. It might sound confusing, but here's some examples. Maybe you're worried that you will have an incurable disease, and just the thought of having it makes you feel like it can be true. Or you had an intrusive thought about harming your loved one in any way, and you feel absolutely horrible because that's not something you wanted to do. But you feel like just the thought already equals action on your part. Are you feeling that you need to know now and for sure? I hate not knowing what's going on, so I definitely empathize with you. But unfortunately for us, the life is not clear and predictable. And there's a beauty to it. It can be full of shitty situations, but also with a lot of delightful surprises. When you feel the urge to know right now and for sure, it means that at this point, you are not able to deal with uncertainty and probably having an OCD attack. Say you're anxious about offending your friend with something that you said. You message them and apologize, hoping this can be resolved. But time passes and they're not opening your message. 1 hour passed, 2 hours passed, 3 hours passed. You can't really focus on anything else and just keep checking if they replied, thinking if you're a horrible person, maybe even trying to call and going to voicemail. You cannot stand that you don't know if your friend is mad at you right now and for sure. Later, your friend might actually read your messages and say, oh my, I didn't even think that it was offensive, so nothing to worry about. But you would still not be convinced, craving that for sure part. Are you feeling unsafe in otherwise safe situation? You can definitely feel that way in other conditions as well, for example, in trauma. And for me, in my case, my trauma actually triggered my OCD, so I didn't have OCD while I was a child, I just had some traits. This type of experience can cause you to become hypervigilant, which means being in the elevated state of constantly assessing potential threats around you. Add OCD on top, and you have a perfect mix of being scared of something that isn't even present or likely to happen. Ask yourself, am I in a safe situation right now? If you are, but you feel very scared due to thoughts that you're having, chances are you're experiencing an OCD spike. Are you feeling that from the side, it looks like you are making too big of an issue of whatever it is, but you just can't help it. People can be very rational, analytical, and wise and still get blindsided by OCD, believing everything they think. Sometimes you can still hear your rational self telling you that there's no way that your intrusive thoughts will turn out to be real, but your anxiety still wants you to keep catastrophizing. Are you having looping thoughts? I can physically feel when my brain is stuck and there's nothing else I can think about, even if I want to. When you feel like your brain is chewing the same thought over and over and over, and even though you're trying to think about something else or switch your attention to something else, you're still experiencing the same intrusive thoughts, you might have an OCD flare-up. Last sign, are you not eating, hydrating, or sleeping? When I'm in the zone, how I call it, I cannot eat and sometimes I forget to drink water, and I also can't get my brain to sleep. If you forget about basics, one more sign that you're obsessing. Make sure you eat at least a little bit and keep drinking water. You can also watch my video about factors that can affect OCD to see what else can affect your spike. I hope this video was helpful for you. When I first experienced my symptoms 9 years ago, I felt horrified. I was scared, I felt very alone in this, and I kept reaching out to my friends and family to make me feel better and make me feel like I'm a good person. When I have OCD attacks now, it's more like, here we go again. And if I'm ever not sure if it's OCD or a real issue that I need to tend to, I check my list of everything that we've discussed today and in my video, factors that can affect your OCD. And if I answered yes to many of these questions, I just understand that it's probably OCD and I'm in the zone again. I really hope it can happen for you as well and you can start recognizing when your OCD is acting up. It can be different for everyone, but I think these are good starting questions to ask yourself. If you like this video, please like and subscribe so I can have 12 followers. And next time I'll be talking about what not to do when your loved one has OCD. I will see you soon. Until then, have a good day and take care.